Hi friends, a very good afternoon to all of you. Welcome once again on the YouTube channel of our BYJU'S Exam Prep. Now, the channel which we have been running since quite some time, and this channel is specially dedicated to all the students who are preparing for CAT and other management entrance examinations. Now, friends, talking about the session that we have just started. This session is for all the students who are preparing for CAT 2023 and other MBA entrance examinations, which will be in the period of next 5 to 6 months. Within this period of next 5 to 6 months. Now, we have started this new series a few days back, 100 most expected questions from CAT examinations for CAT examination. And this session is the part number 2 for 100 most expected questions for quantitative ability. Now, in this session, I'll be solving a few questions. Like the format in which we conduct this session. So, we'll be taking on some of the questions selected by me one by one, and we'll be giving you somewhere around 1 minute to solve every question. After which, we'll have a small analysis, and I'll be providing you with the solution of these questions. Okay. So, friends, like always, like all the previous sessions, please keep liking these sessions, keep attending these sessions, and the way you have shown your response while attending these sessions, please try to match the similar kind of response in this one as well. Okay. Now, I'll start with a very simple suggestion that whenever you are attending this session, please try to solve each of the questions that I've been covering. So, try to solve each of these questions in the time that I'll give you to solve these questions. Okay. So, you make sure that you are giving your 100% while solving these questions. Chaliye, so without wasting any time, let's begin and start solving these questions. So question number 1 on your screen, the question based on the concept of averages. Now, each of these questions that we are covering in these sessions, each of these questions, they can easily match the level of difficulty of any question that will come in CAT exam. You may also find some of the questions which may be easier than the questions we are covering, but definitely the level of difficulty, yes, we are touching that. Okay, so like attempting CAT examination, scoring good marks is not about solving only the difficult questions. It's about finding out those easy and moderate level of difficulty questions and solve them and get good score. Okay. Chaliye. So question number 1 on your screen, there are 4 options, and quickly tell me which of the 4 options is the correct answer for the question that is given. The question says that Vinay and Pranay are among 22 students who write an examination. Vinay scores 85. The average score of the 21 students other than Pranay is 65. Good afternoon, Chandu. The average score of all 22 students is one more than the average score of 21 students other than Vinay. The score of Pranay will be which one among the following options? Now, what you need to do is you just need to make equations very quickly and find out the answers. सिर्फ equations का खेल है और कुछ नहीं है. Any answer for this one? All right. So meanwhile you're solving this, I'll start making these equations. Now I'll start with some assumptions. Vinay and Pranay are 22 students, so score of Vinay is V and score of Pranay is P. Assumption. Uh, the average score of 21 students is given as 65. Fine, no need to take any variable. Now, Vinay and Pranay are among these 22 students. Okay, so the score of remaining 20 students, the sum of the score of the remaining 20 students, I'm assuming it as X. So the score of Vinay is B, the score of Pranay is P, and the score of remaining 20 students, their sum is equal to X. Okay. Now the average of all 22 students is one more than the average of 21 students other than Vinay. So average of 21 students, I'm assuming it as A. So the average score of all 22 students is one more than the average of 21 students. So average of these 22 students will be equal to A plus 1. Okay, so these are some variables I've taken, and Vinay ka score already diya hua hai, so you may easily get the values of some of the variables, right? So let's start making equations. Now the average score of 21 students other than Pranay. So other than Pranay, that means the score of these 20 students and Vinay. Okay, the average is given as 65. So 21 into 65 will be the sum of these 20 students and Vinay, right? So I can easily get the value of X because I know the value of V. The score of Vinay is given as 85. All right. So 21 into 65 minus 85. 21 into 65 minus 85 will be the value of X. All right. So in the first step, I have already got the value of X. That means the sum of the scores of 20 students. So calculations karte hain. 65 into 20 is 1300, 1365. So 1365 minus 85, that is 1280. 1280 is the value of X. That means the sum of the scores of these 20 students. Done the first part. Now next part, look at this one. The average score of all 22 students is one more than the average score of these 21 students other than Vinay. Okay. So the sum of these 22 students can be written as 22 multiplied by A plus 1. Okay. And the sum of these 21 students other than Vinay can be written as 21 times A. All right. And I can add the score of Vinay, which is 85, right? So 22 students on one hand, I've got their average, which is A plus 1, using which I've got their sum 22 times A plus 1. The average of 21 students is A, so their sum will be 21 plus 21 multiplied by A. And I'll add the score of Vinay because Vinay was not considered in these 21 students. So from here, I can find out the value of A. All right. So A का value पता लग जाएगा. Clear? Right? Okay. So 22A minus 21A, I've got the value of A, which will be equal to 85 minus 22, that is 63. So the value of A is 63. Done. Okay. Now, if the value of A is 63, the value of A plus 1, I'm sorry, the value of A plus 1 will be equal to 64. That means the sum of the scores of all these 22 students will be 22 multiplied by 64. From which, if I'll subtract the score of these 20 students, that means X, that is 1280, as well as the score of Vinay, which is 85. I will get the score of Pranay, which I need to calculate. Okay, so that's it. The calculations are in front of you. You can just do the calculations, multiplication, subtraction, and you will get your answer. So let's do that. So 2 into 4 is 8. Then 8 plus 12 is 20. 0 to carry forward. 12 and 2, 14. 1408 minus 1280 and 85 इनको ऐड कर देते हैं, so it will become 1365. Okay, so 1408 minus 1365, that comes out to be 43, and 43 is the answer for this question. So option number A, that is 43, is the correct answer for this one. Now friends, there are more than 15 students who are attending this session live. Guys, शर्म करो कुछ, एक एक भी स्टूडेंट ने आंसर नहीं दिया. So come on, go ahead and start solving these questions. Okay, fine. All right, let's go ahead and look at the next question. Question number 2 on your screen now. And the question is, in an examination, Rajesh score was one-fifth of the sum of the scores of Prema and Anjana. After review, the score of each of them increased by 8. The revised scores of Anjana, Prema, and Rajesh were in the ratio 12 is to 9 is to 5. Then Anjana's score exceeded Rajesh's score by what value? All right, Naman has already given an answer. That is very quick, Naman. Okay, Rakesh has given the answer. Chandu has given the answer. So three students have gone for option A, and one of them is saying option B. Okay, so let's check it out. Okay. Now, after review, the score of each of them increased by 8, and the revised score are in this ratio for Anjana, Prema, and Rajesh. Okay. So I'll go. I'll do a little bit of backtracking. ठीक है ना? Backtracking करते हैं. So the scores after revision, ठीक है, the revised scores are in the ratio 12 is to 9 is to 5. So 12x, 9x, and 5x. I'll assume the score after revision. So scores before revision will be 12x minus 8, 9x minus 8, and 5x minus 8, because for each of them the score increased by 8. Okay, so before revision the score will be 8 less than the scores after revision. Done. Now the relation between these scores is given, that Rajesh's score was one-fifth of the sum of the scores of Prema and Anjana. So Rajesh, that is 5x minus 8, is equal to 1 by 5 of the scores of the other two people. That is 12x minus 8 plus 9x minus 8. All right, fine. This is the equation. So I can cross multiply. 25x minus 40 is equal to 21x minus 16. So I can write that 4x is equal to 24, and the value of x comes out to be 6. Okay, I hope I have not made any mistake. All of you agrees with this. So the value of x is equal to 6. Done. Now what do I have to do? I have to find out the difference between Anjana's and Rajesh's score. So the score of Anjana exceeds the score of Rajesh by what value? So Anjana and Rajesh, I have to find out the difference between their scores. Now the difference between 12x and 5x, here is 7x, and the difference between the scores of before revision will be the same, right? So the difference will remain same because the change in the score is same, right? So the difference between Anjana's and Rajesh's score will be equal to 7x, where the value of x is 6. So 7 multiplied by 6, the answer should be 42. Okay, so answer here should be 42. That is option B. And yes, option B is the correct answer. Okay, so as I can see only one student, Chandu, has given the correct answer. Priyanshi has also given the correct answer. Rest other students, I hope you have understood what mistake you have made. Okay, now try not to repeat the same mistake later on. And with this, let's have a look at the next question, question number 3. It says a person invested a total amount of 30 lakhs. A part of it was invested in a fixed deposit earning 8% annual interest, and the remaining amount was invested in two other deposits in the ratio of 2 is to 1, earning annual interest of 5% and 4% respectively. If the total annual interest, now interest is given as the 1,80,000, then the amount invested in the fixed deposit was how much? Good afternoon, Urbain Vastra. Very good afternoon. Quickly find out the answer of this one. This is a very simple question of simple interest. The interest is calculated only for 1 year, so you don't have to do a lot of calculation. All right, Naman, first one to give an answer, option A. All right, you'll have to wait for a few minutes to see if this is the correct answer or not. Abhijit is of the same opinion. Answer is option A. Abhijit has removed his answer. Okay, चलिए start करते हैं. Now, first of all, the money is divided in two parts. So, first part is deposited. First part is invested in a fixed deposit. Okay, so let me call this first part as X. Now, with the second part, he has divided it in the ratio 2 is to 1. So, I'll assume it as 2y and y. Okay, so I call it 2y plus y, 3y. So, total money is X plus 3y, and that is 30 lakhs. Okay, 30 lakhs is the total money. So x plus 3y is 30 lakhs. Now I'll write everything in terms of lakhs, right? So 30 lakhs को मैंने 30 लिख दिया. 1,80,000 I'll write it as 1.8 and so on. Okay. So first of all, x plus 3y. X is the money that is invested in fixed deposit, and the next part, which is divided in the ratio 2 is to 1, is deposited in the other schemes at the interest rate of 5 and 4%. Okay. Now, fixed deposit, the person is earning an interest of 8%. So I can write 8% of X plus 5% of 2Y plus 4% of Y is the total interest that I can write it as 1.8, which is 1.8 lakhs. Okay. Now, simplifying this equation, it will be 8x plus 14y is equal to 180. This will be the second equation. Simplifying, I'll get 4x plus 7y is equal to 9. Okay. Now I have two equations. I can solve it for x and y. Now I'll multiply the first equation by 4. So it will become 4x plus 12y is equal to 120. And second equation, 4x plus 7y is equal to 90. So the value of y, 5y is equal to 30. So y is equal to 30 divided by 5, that is 6. So the value of y is 6. Okay. So out of 30 lakhs, the money invested here. So this is 6 lakhs. So 12 lakhs is invested in the first and 6 lakhs is invested in the second. Okay, right? So 18 lakhs is the total money that was invested in the 5% and 4% scheme. The remaining money out of 30 lakhs must be invested in the fixed deposit. Okay, so out of 30 lakhs, 12 and 6, 18 is deposited in the second scheme. Okay, so 12 lakhs must have been invested in the fixed deposit. And hence, this is the correct answer. So, Naman, Abhijit, Priyanshi, Archana, Ritik, a lot of you have given correct answers. Wonderful. So, the correct answer here is option A, that is 12 lakhs. Let's move on to look at the next question. Now, the question of time and work. Pranay alone can do a job in 15 days, while Kamal can alone do the same job in 30 days. Okay. Now, Pranay starts the job, and after 3 days, Kamal joins him. Fine. Again, after a few days, Nitish joins them, and they finish the work. Okay. Now, if Nitish has done 10% of the job, then in how many days was the job done? Easy question. So you'll have to find out in how many total number of days the job was finished. Okay, Chandu, first one to answer. 10 days. Rakesh, the same answer. Okay, so how to go about this one? Nitish has done 10% of the job. I'll completely remove the amount of work done by Nitish. Let's see how. Now, Pranay, first of all, can finish the work in 15 days and Kamal can finish in 30 days. So I'll assume the total work as 30 units. So Pranay's 1 day work will be 2 and Kamal's 1 day work will be 1. Okay, this is the standard procedure. Now Pranay starts the work and after 3 days Kamal joins. So first of all, Pranay works for 3 days and then Kamal joined him. Okay. Again, after a few days, so Kamal joined him, and now Kamal and Pranay are working. Okay. And okay, so Pranay worked for 3 days. First of all, Kamal joins him, and again, after a few more days, Nitish joins him. So they work for X days. Okay. And then Nitish joins them. So Kamal plus Pranay plus Nitish. Okay. And they would have worked for Y days and the work got finished. Right? Now, the total work is 30 units, out of which Nitish has done 10% of the work. So if I remove the work done by Nitish, 10% means 3 units. So 27 units of work was done by Pranay and Kamal without the help of Nitish. Okay. So I can say that Pranay first of all worked for 3 days. And then Kamal and Pranay, both of them work for let's say x plus y की जगह z consider कर लेते हैं. So z number of days. So x plus y you can assume it as z. So Kamal and Pranay work for z number of days and the work got finished. Right. So now you can make the equation. The work here will be 27 units. The work that is done by Nitish is not considered in this equation. Done. So 3-day work of Pranay. So 3 multiplied by 2 plus Z days work of Kamal and Pranay, that is 3, is equal to 27. So you can find out the value of Z. So 27 minus 6, that is 21. 21 upon 3 is 7. So the value of Z is 7. So the total number of days in which the work got finished was 3 plus Z number of days. So 3 plus Z, that is 10 days, will be the final answer. Okay. Now you can do this question by using any method and you will get the same answer every time. So the correct answer here is option C. Chandu, Ritik, Priyanshi and Abhijit, 4 of you have given the correct answer. And that is the correct answer. Okay. Let's quickly move on to next question, question number 5. Now this is a very logical question. Now let me see how many of you are able to give me a correct answer for this one. A cyclist leaves A at 11 a.m. and reaches B at 12 a.m. Starting from 11:01 a.m., every minute a motorcycle leaves point A and moves towards point B. 45 such motorcycles reach B by 12 a.m. All motorcycles have the same speed. If the cyclist increased his speed by 150 percentage, then how many motorcycles would have reached B by the time cyclist reached B? A very, very logical question. So frankly, there will not be any big calculation in this question. Okay, so it's just complete logic. Now let's see who will give me the first correct answer or who will give me the correct answer. Okay, Ritik, I have read your problem. What is the problem that you are facing with? Okay, so can you wait for another 10 minutes? Let us finish today's portion and then I will basically consider your query, consider your problem. Okay, so just give me few more minutes. Let us finish today's agenda and we'll talk about the problem that you are facing. I hope a lot of you have read what problem Ritik is facing with, and probably some of you might also be facing the same problem. I'll give you a very general thing, what you need to do, what you need to follow. If you can follow it up to the T, if you can follow it 100%, then definitely the things may improve. Okay? But let's finish today's agenda, few questions, and then we'll talk about it. Now, talking about this question, a cyclist leaves A at 11 a.m. and reaches B at 12 a.m. So that means the cyclist is taking 60 minutes to complete his journey. Okay, fine. Ritik Kumar Pan, कुछ marks से रह जा. Ritik, please don't worry. So I'll definitely talk about this. Okay. Now starting from 11:01. Every minute, a motorcycle leaves A and move towards B, and 45 such motorcycles reach B by 12 a.m. So, first motorcycle left at 11:01, and 45 such motorcycles reach B, and every minute the motorcycle is leaving. So, the last motorcycle must have left at 11:45. The last motorcycle. Okay? So, 11:45 पे last motorcycle, that means 45th motorcycle has left. Okay? And this 45th motorcycle must have left and reached at 12 a.m. Right? The speed of every motorcycle is same. So the time taken by one motorcycle to go from A to B is how much? Last motorcycle left at 11:45, and this motorcycle has reached at 12 a.m. That means it is taking 15 minutes to cover its journey, right? So whichever motorcycle starts from A, it will reach point B after 15 minutes. That is how a total of 45 motorcycles which are leaving from point A after every minute will reach by 12 a.m. Done? Itna clear hai? No calculation call, it's just the logic. Now next they are saying that if the cyclist will increase his speed by 150 percentage. So whatever, let's say the speed of cyclist was S, and he has increased the speed by 150 percentage, 150% of S. So the new speed of the cyclist will become 250 upon 100 S. That means 5 upon 2S. Okay. So now the original speed was S and the new speed is 5 by 2S. That means the speed has become 5 by 2 of its original value. So the time taken by cyclist will become 2 by 5 of the original time taken by him. The original time taken by him was 16 minutes. Okay, so now the time taken by cyclist will be 24 minutes, right? So the cyclist will reach point B at 11:24 a.m. Okay, so I can say that the motorcycle, so हमें क्या find out करना, how many motorcycles would have reached point B by this time. So we'll have to find out how many motorcycles have reached by 11:24. So the motorcycle that will reach point B at 11:24 a.m. will leave point A 15 minutes before that, because 15 minutes is the time taken by motorcyclist. So 11:24 में से 15 minutes minus कर देंगे, 11:09 a.m. So the motorcycle which has left point A at 11:09 or before will be able to reach point B by the time the cyclist will reach point B at its increased speed. Okay, right? So 11:01 पे फर्स्ट मोटरसाइकिल चली थी, 11:09 पे लास्ट मोटरसाइकिल, that means total motorcycles will be 9 in number. So the correct answer for this question will be option B, that is 9. All right, most of you have given correct answer, including you, Ritik. So Ritik, I can see that here you are answering to most of the questions. Your performance is absolutely good. I'll soon tell you what needs to be done to increase the score in mock papers. Okay, so the correct answer here is option B, that is 9. And let's move on to look at the next question, question number 6. Question number 6 from number systems. How many factors of 2 raised to the power 6 multiplied by 3 raised to the power 5 multiplied by 10 raised to the power 2 are perfect squares which are greater than 1? Simple question. Jaldi, you should not be taking more than 30 seconds to give me answer for this question. Not more than 30 seconds. Now follow the steps. We need to find out the number of factors, okay, which are perfect squares. So obviously, first of all, what you have to do is you have to write this number as the product of prime factors. Simple, prime factorization karna. So this number can be written as 2 raised to the power 8 multiplied by 3 raised to the power 5 multiplied by 5 raised to the power 2. 10 is not a prime number, so 10 square will be written as 2 raised to the power 2 multiplied by 5 raised to the power 2. Okay, right? So this is our number. Now the number of factors which are perfect squares. So the powers of 2 which are even will be considered. So the powers of 2 will be 0, 2, 4, 6 and 8. Okay. So the powers of 2 can be considered in 5 ways. Similarly, powers of 3 which are even. Why I am looking at even powers? Because the number or the factor should be a perfect square. Perfect square will always have even powers of prime factors. So the powers of 3 that will be considered will be 0, 2, and 4. So it will be considered in 3 ways. And powers of 5 considered will be 0 and 2. That means 2 powers. So total number of factors which are perfect squares will be 5 into 3 into 2, that is 30. Alright. Now, these 30 factors which are perfect squares will also include 1. 1 is a perfect square and 1 is the factor of this number. Okay, so we don't have to include 1 because we need all the perfect square factors which are greater than 1. So I'll subtract 1 from here and that will give me my final answer, which is 29. 29, Soham and only Soham. Soham has given the correct answer. Mayur, I hope you have understood what has been done in this question. All right, Mayur. Ritik, 30 nahi hoga answer. 30 is the number of factors which are perfect squares, but it also includes 1. Okay, so 1 remove karna padega. Answer will be 29. So 29 option B is the correct answer for this one. Now let's quickly move on to the next question. Question number 7. Now, in the year 2010, a farm had a total of 6,500 trees of two varieties, coconut and palm. In the year 2015, the farm had a total of 7,325 trees in these two varieties. During this period, there was a 10% increase in coconut and 15% increase in palm trees. How many coconut trees are there in the farm in the year 2015? Simple, linear equations, two variables. It's just the way how you solve these. Solving का तरीका proper होना चाहिए. You will be able to get the answer in less than a minute. Okay, now because of these percentages, I will assume the number of coconut and palm trees as 100x and 100y. Okay, so 100x and 100y were the initial number of coconut and palm trees respectively in the year 2010. Their sum is 6,500. So I get the equation that x plus y is equal to 65. A very simple equation. Now let's increase number of coconut trees by 10%. So it will become 110x. And number of palm trees by 15%, 115y. And the sum has now become 7325. Okay. So again, I take 5 common from here. 5 ही आ सकता है. So 23, no, 22x. I remove this. 22x plus 23y is equal to 1465. Okay, 1465. Chandu, let's check it out. Okay, so if you are clear with these equations, how many coconut trees? So I have to find out the value of coconut trees. So I'll eliminate y. Okay, so I'll multiply the first equation by 23. So 23x plus 23y is equal to 65 into 23. So 15, 5, 1, 18 and 10, 28, 29, 2, 1495 and 22x plus 23y. This is the second equation is 1465. So if I subtract, I'll get the value of x as 30. X का value 30 आया है. This is not the number of trees. This is the value of x. Okay. Now, originally the number of trees, number of coconut trees was this. And finally, in 2015, it was this. So we have to find out the number of coconut trees in the farm in the year 2015. That means I have to find out the value of 110x. 110x का value find out करना है. So 110 multiplied by 30, that is 3300, should be the final answer, which is option A. Okay. So simple equations, two variables I've calculated. The calculations are in front of you. Those who are not getting the same answer, correct answer, they must have done some mistake. Chandu, Sachdeep has given the correct answer. Soham, तुम्हारा भी आंसर सही है, but किसने फिर गलत आंसर लिखा था पहले? चलो, जिसने भी लिखा था, one of the students has written option D as the correct answer. So option A is correct, and all the calculations are in front of you. So that was question number 7, option A, 3300, a correct answer. Okay. All right. So friends, that's all from my side for the day. Uh, every session has to end somewhere, okay, so that we can bring a new session, all new set of questions for all of you. Okay, so let's move on, and you can unlock your free trial if you're not a student at BYJU'S Exam Prep for 3 days by visiting our application, entering your phone number, and starting your free trial for 3 days. Okay, you can also enroll for CAT 2023 and other MBA examinations test series, right? This is the list of CAT 2022 toppers. New batches are also available for CAT 2023 comprehensive. Link is given in the description. You can enroll. And today is the last day for free All India Open Mock for CAT 2023. All right. Now, friends, I will be here for another 2 or 3 minutes, and one of our friends, Ritik, has asked something. So one of the things that Ritik has pointed out that मुझे mock में ऐसा लगता है सभी क्वेश्चन करने हैं, analysis के बाद भी कट ऑफ मीट नहीं होती. Okay, so Ritik, and this can be taken by other students as well. Now, in case you are struggling in scoring, I'll not say good marks, but in case you are struggling with your marks in mock examinations, your scores are stagnant, they are not increasing, they are not improving, you are stuck somewhere. Okay, so now what you need to do is you need to follow a few steps. Okay, number one, whatever mocks you have taken up till now, okay, pick up last 5 or 10 mocks. Okay, whatever number of mocks you have taken, pick up all of them. Okay, and do a proper section wise analysis. So let's say today you start with quantitative ability. Okay, so pick up all the last 7, 8 mocks you have taken, and one by one do the analysis of all these mock papers. Now, in the analysis, what you have to do is you just have to find out where are you committing mistake. This is point number one that you have to find out. Where are you committing mistake? Second thing is you have to find out what are the type of questions in which you are spending a lot of time. Does not matter you are marking the correct answer or an incorrect answer. The only thing that matter here is you are wasting a lot of time on those type of questions. Okay, so start segregating these questions based on their type. So number one, the questions which are incorrect. Number two, the questions in which you are wasting a lot of time. Number three, the questions which you are leaving unattempted. Okay, now after basically making a list of these questions on the basis of 7 to 8 mocks, you will be able to generalize what is your weak point. Okay, your weak point may be any of the topics, any of the type of questions. It may be a type of error that you are committing again and again. Fine, I cannot identify your weak point, but you can identify your weak point. Also, weak point cannot be identified on the basis of one mock. It can be identified on the basis of more than 5 mocks. At least 5 mocks होने चाहिए तुम्हारे पास. Okay, right? Now, once you have identified these mistakes, then start working on these mistakes slowly and gradually. Now, slowly nahi kar sakte ab, I'm sorry to use these words. So start working on your mistakes quickly. So let's say you are weak in a certain number of topics. So make sure that you are practicing at least 30 to 35 questions on those topics in the next 4 or 5 days. Then after you have practiced 30-35 questions in the next few days, you will start feeling a little comfortable. I'm not saying that you will be a champion for that particular topic, but you will start feeling comfortable. Okay, so understanding your mistake is important, but working on that mistake is more important. Fine. So one of the reasons why your score is not improving, why you are unable to clear the cutoff in the mock papers, is you are not doing a proper analysis. You might be doing analysis, but you are not doing a proper analysis. Okay. So start following in this manner, and things will certainly improve. All right. This is the only thing that can be done. Nothing else. There is no shortcut for improving the score. All right. So you'll have to sit and practice all the areas which you think you are unable to work on, you are unable to score marks on. So you'll have to improve all those areas. This can be done once you will start solving questions related to those topics. All right. So friends, that is all from my side. A very thank you to all of you. We'll see you again in the next session on 100 most important questions on quant. Have a nice day. Bye bye.